Welcome back on the program. Well, we'll be looking at the Pmb'S mid-term scorecard, focus on security and corruption. I still have with me in the studio Richard Amuwa, security expert, and Hassan Labo, a retired colonel. Good morning, gentlemen, once again.
Thank you.
When the APC jostling for the 2015 general elections, these were their manifestos. Let me quickly read to you what they have to say concerning the present state of security as at before the 2015 general election in the country. They did say that security of lives and property of the citizens is a foremost responsibility for any government. Security agents include the police, the military, and unfortunately, the security situation in Nigeria has assumed heartbreaking dimension with the menace of Boko Haram insurgents, kidnapping, armed robbery, and militancy. And in 2013, 26 of every 100 kidnapping cases globally occurred in Nigeria. Now, this is one of their campaign promises that the APC government did promise Nigerians. The Chibok girls kidnapped since 2014 are yet to be found. Nigeria is ranked fourth in global terrorism death behind Syria, Afghanistan, and Iraq. As at November 2014, 20 local governments were under Boko Haram, and there is palpable fear in the land. It is worrisome that this is the first time that insecurity will drive Nigeria to the edge since the days of the civil war. Our party is saddled over the insurgency by the dreadful Boko Haram sect, which has killed more than 13,000 Nigerians and displaced millions internally and externally. The cause is to be blamed on the PDP government's ineptitude and inaction. This consequently lacking the required leadership has resulted in Nigeria's dependence on its neighbors for survival. Now, the APC campaign promises as at 2015. Gentlemen, what do you make of the current security situation in Nigeria vis-a-vis the Pmb'S midterm scorecard? Let me start with you, Hassan Lambo.
Thanks so much, frankly speaking, we all agree that security falls within the ambit of the social contracts which government has with the people. Okay, so I wasn't surprised when Mr. President, took security as one of the cardinal issues he was going to address. He has done fairly well, especially where insurgency and terrorism is concerned. I think we must give it to them. The government has really done well. However, the challenges as far as security is concerned are still there. That is when we look at it outside insurgency and terrorism. We begin to look at challenges we have with kidnappings, challenges we have with the herdsmen issues, okay? Challenges we have with militancy, South-South, challenges we have with the agitation for Biafra as emanating from IBOP and the MASOP agitations, okay? In all these respects, fine, government has tried to make some inways, but I think there is still a lot to be done. Let me look at kidnapping, for instance, which I think as at now is beginning to bite very hard, and looking at the rate of increase in terms of kidnappings. What has gone wrong and what do we think we can do? To me, the ongoing level of kidnapping speaks much of the unemployment situation in the country. If we are able to generate more jobs, and when I mean jobs, I'm not looking at white-collar jobs. That is to say, if we are able to empower more of our people, especially the youths, I think to an extent it would be able to have an impact in such crimes. Okay? However, some of the kidnappings that are ongoing, especially in the schools, I would say, borders on the inability of the school authorities and maybe law enforcement agents to actually enforce what I'll call preventive terrorism initiatives Take for instance the current kidnapping case from this school. What's the name of the school?
Ebola.
Yes.
Lagos State.
When you look at the surrounding of that school, you see a thick forest around it. Thick forest. That's not too good. I expect that the authorities would have tried to not tamper with the trees, but bring down some of the foliage so that people can see through. That is one. Two, is the school fenced? If it is fenced, what is the height? If it is fenced, how many exit gates do we have to it? And are they manned? Three, do we have a CTLO desk in each of the divisional police posts? You know, that's what do they call it? DPO. Yes, divisional police offices also. Yes. That is the counter-terrorist liaison officer's desk. If such a desk exists, those guys manning the desk, part of their responsibility is to be liaising, form a liaison relationship with all soft targets within the divisional headquarters, within their area of jurisdiction. Visit schools, offices, hospitals, recreation areas, and so on. And do what? Make sure they put in place all the necessary PTIs, preventive terrorism initiatives, okay, that will help guard against things like this. Do we have first responders in that school where this thing happened? Do we have first responders on ground? Forget it was a kidnap case.
Just a moment, Colonel.
Yes,
are you
please.
aware that the kidnappers did route to that school, giving that awareness that we're coming to strike, and
Yes.
3 days after they came?
Yes, they had the effrontery to write you because they know you have not done most of the things I'm talking about. Because they know you have not taken any step to protect those kids. They can walk in there and walk out. The way Boko Haram walked into the school in Chibok and walked out with over 200 girls. All right? There are certain steps we should be taking. And I think the private security sector has done enough in trying to see that we put these things across. But I really don't know whether those who should be listening are listening. I keep saying NOA, the National Orientation Agency, is sleeping.
Of course.
They are sleeping. I don't even know who is in charge. Since Jerry Ghana left that office, I don't know who else has handled it. Till this date, even today, that we have an effective leadership at the helm of political affairs in the person of Mr. President. NOA is sleeping. Have you walked into any departmental store, be it ShopRite or anything, and while walking out, you pick a leaflet on any table, which as you are going, it educates you on how to organize your security in your house, on your offices, and so on. All this sort of information should be coming from the NOA. It should be in every school, every hospital, you mentioned it. Your kids coming back from school should be coming back with such leaflets.
Let me bring you in, Richard Amuwa. You saw the campaign promises of the APC that I read earlier.
Yes.
What do you make of this? Is this administration, have they been able to fix the issue of security in the country?
I think I've been privileged to run the same topic you just asked me now on radio, and excuse me. I think the issue here is that excuse me.
So,
I think the issue here is that the government have tried in terms of security, but when you look at terrorism, when you look at Northeast, you look at how Abuja was taken over in the past, Kano, all those, they could just walk in and cause mayhem and move back, but he has stopped. Good, but just like Colonel Richard said, you see, the point here is that security is holistic. When you talk about security, you are looking at armed robbery, just like they said, kidnapping, cultists, so many issues. If you take away the issue of terrorism, Boko Haram, don't forget that terrorism have come to stay with us. Whether you like it or not, they will come and strike and go, come and. But let's take the issue of kidnapping. Like Connor said, Now, because of the rate of unemployment in Nigeria, kidnapping has become a business. In the past, in Southwest here, Lagos, we are sleeping. We thought that, okay, it can never happen. But today, the hub of kidnapping in Nigeria is in Lagos. And why is it like that? Because again, let me tell you one thing. As a media person, as a security consultant, I've come to realize in Nigeria that most of our leaders are playing lip service to security. Why am I saying that? For example, again, Mr. President came up with the fact that let's recruit 10,000 policemen. This is since over 2 years. 10,000 to about 350,000 men that already have. The point I'm trying to say here is that we need a government who will say they are fighting security by providing equipment. Look at what Lagos State government is doing, for crying out loud, through the RRS. And just a few weeks ago, they provided how many? Is it 200 or 20?
About that.
About 200.
200 and something.
No? And that's it. But how? Federal government cannot have their cake and they cannot eat their cake and want to have it. Now, time has come in this country. This same government, while they were in opposition, they are the one who was advocating for state police. Because they say they are progressive. So, what has changed? Because seriously, for those of us who are in security, if you don't take security to the people, you will keep beating around the bush. Because security is going to be with the people. And that's why today, we're still running a policing system where police is like an enemy to the people they are protecting. It's not done that way. So, to me, what this government have campaigned for in terms of security, they've gotten 50%. That's what I've scored.
Okay, you are scoring them 50%.
Yes.
What happened to the issue of herdsmen farmers clash in the country? Let's look at some of the promises they did make. Tackle the issue of security frontally in collaboration with the state. Provide required vehicles, armored personnel carriers, and boats to the police to aid effective discharge of their duties, and also review upward the welfare package, rehabilitate all the existing police barracks and build new ones. This is their campaign promises when they were campaigning in 2015, and that's the manifesto of the APC to establish community policing to refocus the operation of the police force in line with the principles and values of community policing, leading to establishment of state police. Now, further better funding of the military to encourage it to fulfill its primary role in defending the territorial integrity of the nation, be tough on terrorism, and also pay adequate attention to human side in the fight against terror. To pay special attention to welfare of our military personnel in and out of service, give them adequate and modern arms and ammunition to work with and improve intelligence gathering. These are some of the campaign promises made by the APC in 2015. Let
me quickly take this. You see, if this very campaign had been followed objectively, today Nigeria would have been, a mega country in terms of issue of security. I'm telling you. Tell me, for the past 2 years, how many barracks have been renovated? The welfare of police, either presently or out of. You see, look at Colonel Sam, for example, retired. He has so many colleagues who left army, retired but not tired, who are great resources that government has spent so much money on. And today they are running their own private security business or security companies. Tell me how many of them is government using? They have traveled wide, they've seen things. You see, I think past government, successive government, including this present government, they are paying lip service to security. Like I said earlier, being in the media, being a security consultant, and seeing the way things are going. I personally, for example, went to the Ministry of Education, Lagos State, with a proposal to say we could go to schools, that it's not just providing physical security to schools, to these children. Let's go educate these children on issue of security. You know what they said? They said there's no fund for that. That's why we said we're not even asking them for money. We're just saying, give us an assistant to see how we can carry our team to different schools.
This president
This president
administration.
Yes, I'm not like I have sent a proposal to the state government. I've sent proposal to the advisor. I've sent proposal to the deputy, to the Ministry of Education on the issue of how can we police the school. No, take it out of Nigeria, either in the US or in the UK. School security is paramount.
What you're watching on the screen there is that is the Igbola.
You can imagine. Tell me, look at the fence.
Look at
the fence. And when you have this kind of school in a thick forest. But the point is that you can have school in anywhere. But what's the security measure? Today, we have advocated that the fact that we must have commissioner of police in charge of school. Like we have commissioner of police in charge of airport, commissioner of police in charge of what we call marine. So what's the problem now that we have issues that is threatening our children in the school? Why can't we not say, okay, let's have commissioner of police who will be in charge of school and dedicated. So have his team walk around, then work with the private sectors. You see, let me tell you one thing, and I keep saying it, I've said it, and I'll keep saying it. The point here is that we're still paying lip service to security.
How will you rate this government in ensuring the recent release of the 82 Chibok girls? Well, you had in their promises saying that Nigeria ranked 4th in global terrorism death. And as at then, they said about 20 local governments were under Boko Haram siege. So from then till now, what has happened?
I will rate the government's action concerning the release of the girls. I will give them an A. I'm impressed because I think the government is making quite some deliberate and committed effort in saying that the girls are brought back. I want to refer to Mr. President's speech in the course of his inauguration when he said that not until we get these girls back, the fight against Boko Haram should not be assumed to be over. And I think he's living up to that commitment. It is good. I am aware that efforts are on by maybe way of discussions or whatever to see to the release of some other girls and so on. But I just want to warn or advise that just the way that of the 82 girls, was handled, we should make sure that there is no leakage of information whatsoever. The Nigerian populace or citizen is somebody who is quite inquisitive, and this is a very sensitive issue. When you throw it out to the public, there is a tendency for everybody to become a coach. I want to tell you how to play the game and who you should field. Let them just go on silently. All we want is get the girls.
Who exactly are they negotiating with when we say we are fighting a guerrilla warfare? Amuwa.
You want me to break my rule? I've said that I don't know actually said anything again about the issue of Chibok girls. It's been my policy not to grant interview on the issue of Chibok girls because to me, every single day, as a security consultant, study security, seeing things, the issue of Chibok girls to me is still a mystery to me. I still don't understand. These girls are they in this country? Are they outside the country? Some have come some have been released. They've been interviewed. I did not be profiled to know which area are you guys from. The people they release, don't they have what's it called? Don't they have gadgets you can plant in their shoe or plant in their body to see where they are gone? I know as of today that you can put something in somebody's skin and remain and track that person. So I don't still understand. I'm sorry, I'm saying this, and that's why I say I don't grant interview anymore on the show of Chibok girl. But based on what we've seen, like Connor said, they're doing a great job releasing the girls. The girls are coming in batches. But to me, I'm confused.
Let me just chip in here. Government has more information at its disposal than we have.
Yes.
We members of the public. And at times, in the national interest, some of this information may not be divulged to us, not until the objective or the mission is attained. we were all made to understand that these 82 girls that were released, the information as to their whereabouts actually came from the first 21 who were released. They gave the pointer, and there was a follow-up, and actually it was discovered that one of the factions were holding on to the girls. I hope we do understand that right now, as we speak, the belligerents are operating in factions now.
Yes.
I think at the last count there were 2 or 3 factions. And negotiations become very, very difficult within conflict environment as this, when the belligerent you are discussing with is factionalized. It becomes difficult to begin to have a command structure, all right, that you can easily sit and talk with. And that is why you see yourself negotiating with faction A, and the conditions faction A may give you may not be the conditions faction B will give you, or C will give you. You are determined to get what you want. So you go ahead, carrying out all your negotiations. The negotiation they had in respect of the 21 girls probably was not what went on with the 82 girls. The only luck I think we had was that we met with a faction that was ready to negotiate. It's only, are we ready to pick whatever the bills they are placing on the table?
Do we? Because Richard did say he's confused at this time.
Yes.
And so many Nigerians out there,
Yes.
they may be wondering that we're negotiating with this Boko Haram insurgent, and
Yes.
in exchange of the prisoners.
Yes.
What do you make of this? The prisoners were released. What are we putting in place to ensure that these people released don't go back to perpetrate nefarious activities again?
Let's start from the beginning. There is nothing wrong in negotiating. And when you go to negotiate, we must get this clear. When you go to the negotiating table, I don't think you expect to see yourself just walk out without parting with something. Because the very essence of negotiation is what is coming to me and what's going to me. Fine. If at the end of the day, like we were told, 4 or 5 of these leaders were released.
Just a moment, Canel. Let's quickly open the phone lines to get the
Okay.
polls of Nigerians on what we're looking at.
All right.
We're looking at the Pmb'S scorecard at this time. That is a midterm scorecard focus on security and corruption. Go on, Canel.
Yes. If, like we were told, 4 or 5 of these of their commanders were released to them for 82 girls, they may have been asking for 20, and negotiations brought it down to that 4 or 5. It is a global thing. I hope you are aware that after the 6-day war, which Israel fought with the Arabs, 5,442 Arab.
Just a moment, Canel.
yes.
We have a caller, Peter, calling us from Bauchi. Good morning, Peter. Let's have your contribution, please.
Yeah, good morning, Nigeria, and good morning, the panel. Although I'm just coming in to watch the program because I like always contributing to your show. I would say the man on the red suit over there made one statement which it really intrigues me. He said, the girls have been released, but he's confused. And I like that word, Nigerians are confused. And we want to know the truth. Talking about the corruption and this insurgency thing, there are so many questions to ask, and I'll be very brief with them. People keep saying they're fighting insurgency. What is happening to the herdsmen? The government is not saying anything. For me, I have a belief. Jonathan's government was sabotaged with these Chibok girls. And then I will tell you one thing again. On this issue of Chibok girls, they said they have different factions. Actually, yes, to an extent, I would believe that. And as it is, even before the present leader now came on board, Mohammed Yusuf was a very quiet leader. He had his own agenda of fighting the government, and he was about giving up his whole agenda. But due to some other influences, Shekau, present leader, disagreed with him, and that was where the whole thing turned around. After Yusuf was killed, Shekau came on board and changed the whole idea of the Boko Haram. They're going into so many issues. I will just highlight some points which I want the panel to talk about. Now, let's ask ourselves questions. We're talking about corruption. Are we looking at the issue of oil today in Nigeria? Are we looking at the issue of dollar today? What are the institutions who are supposed to be helping us, like NLC, doing when it comes to the fighting for Nigerians You understand? It's so surprising me that Ayub Awuba has not done anything for the poor Nigerians. When different organizations they come up and they say they
Well,
want to
Peter,
fight,
I
and
will
then
say thank you very much. You're a good orator. Thank you very much for calling. It was 60 seconds. Peter, there from Bauchi. Okay, kind of, you're making some assertions concerning.
Yes,
this.
I was trying to say that, look, there is nothing we cannot part for these girls. Mostly when you look at developments within the international community. Only 2 or 3 years back, the US was able to part with some prisoners for one Sergeant Beha in Afghanistan who was taken hostage. And we all are aware that Israel would part with thousands for the dead body of an Israeli soldier. Dead body, at times exhumed. They are ready to forgo 4,000 or 5,000 men. Now the point I'm making is that what is it we cannot part with for our girls? I don't think there is nothing we cannot part with, besides if it borders on our sovereignty.
There have been this call that the president has not been talking more on the issue of herdsmen farmers clash.
Yes.
What do you say of this?
Yes. The issue of herdsmen, I keep saying this, would remain with us until we are ready to address certain realities or face up with certain realities. And what are these realities? We must accept that, look, we need ranches. Globally, anywhere you go today, especially in the civilized climes, the breeding of herds by the farmers is done through ranches. You confine these herds into a ranch, avail them with all the foliage they need to feed with, and so on. All right? So that they don't go about creating problems.
Just a moment. It's the day for the Peters.
Peter
We have another Peter from Taraba. Good morning. Let's have your contributions, please.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you. So my contribution on the program is that about the government, well, in some areas they are doing fine, but in some areas they are failing us. Although the issue of this Chibok girls are unrelated, but it's a pity to the parents and the children that no matter the reasons for the past government and this government, it is policies they use it's just a pity to the parents and their daughters that fell into this. You see, and it's security. Government tried in the Northeast. They promised us that they tried. To an extent, they tried. So let's say 40, 45%, 50. But by the blind eye they turned in this herdsmen issue, reasons I don't know. It's only them in the leadership can give their reasons for that. You see, and also the issue of fighting corruption. The people they pick, some they call it witch hunt, is for their own race. But to know what I tell her that is, when you get, as far as you have a question to answer, when it's your own turn, don't witch and hurt or the ones that if you read the about issue of this shared fire issue, your guess there, the way he put it, I don't like. It's not fair. If fire have an issue, if it's with chance, he should clear himself. If he have about, he's trying to paint it as, yes, it may be a wish, but the thief spend the people's money, he use it for his own, about the local government that have not paid during his time. If the money, if he invests it in the state, fine and good, but if he didn't invest it, why your guest there is painting it as is a wish, or the governor may hate him for all, well, it's his person, but only thing that I like the governor is the way he protected his people from this SN issue. Some governors don't have that courage. Just look like Benue. Just because of his link to the center, he don't have the courage to toe the line of fire to protect his people. But
I must say thank you very much, Peter. You've made your point there. Thank you very much. Okay. Now, Colonel, you were making. Do you want to react to what he said?
No, I think we need to correct that impression. What Connor said was that I said that they should go to court to defend themselves. Connor said yes, but sometimes the reason why they are stopping why they go to court to stop those probes is because they feel that they are being vindictive. That's just it. So he wasn't saying so. That's just the point.
Okay. Going with the assertions on the herdsmen clash.
Yes, I was saying that, look, the Minister of Agric has appealed, or the government has demanded from state governments to please avail lands for ranches, so that rather than these Fulani herdsmen moving up and down with the herds, they just go into the ranches and stay put there, get all what they need there. Okay, and to an extent, it will reduce the amount of damages going on. Yes, please.
I need to ask you a question.
Yes, please.
With my age today, I'm in my early 50s, and herdsmen has been in Nigeria since I was born.
Correct.
I grew up, not going to north to know what's called Furadununu, because they will come to River Niger then with their whatever.
Just a moment, let's see whether this one knows Furadununu. Gambo is calling us from Medjugorje. Good morning, Gambo. Let's have your comments, please.
Yeah, good morning, Emmanuel Ajayi.
Good morning.
Buhari scored 55% in terms of security simply because one will travel from Maiduguri to any of the 7 local governments of northern Borno without security escorts. Good. In the case of Chibok girls, let them not put more emphasis on them, because more than 250 students were kidnapped in Damasak of Mobar local government on 25th November 2014 in 3 barrier schools, namely Anur Private School, Zanda Umarti, and Damasak Central Primary School. Well, our securities are doing their best. Then thank you. That's my own contribution.
Thank you very much. You didn't say anything concerning the herdsmen clash.
Yeah?
In fact, to answer what he just said, you see, at a point, I was saying that when this Chibok become a major issue, the terrorists, that the Boko Haram, they pick on it. There's other schools that have been, they are kidnapped. That's a boys' school.
Yeah, Buniyadi.
Yes. How come? So it was because we made meat out of it. And we all know that terrorists want media attention. So that Chibok became everything. When Obama and his wife and UN, everybody was carrying placard, bring back our girl, so it became an issue. If not, if we handled it the way we handled the other ones, it would have been something else. But going back to issue of herdsmen, to me today, I sit here to say that these are not herdsmen, these are Boko Haram. Government need to give them name immediately right now.
Just a moment. Okay, you are saying they are not herdsmen, they are also Boko Haram.
Yeah, yes.
Ekene is calling us from Ghana. Good morning, Ekene. Let's have your contributions, please.
Yeah, good morning, Ajay, and good morning, your guests over there.
Good morning.
Yeah, my contribution about Buhari performance so far. In terms of security, I rate them -0. Because what I say I rate them -0 is because if you look at the casualty that the security force, Nigeria security force has committed since Buhari takeover, it is even bigger than those that Boko Haram has been killed in past decades. Look at the issue of Zaria massacre. Look at the issue of killing. Look at the issue of people killing. All have been. Look at the mistakenly bombing of IDP camps. All have been done by the Nigeria Security Agency. But no one is talking about. We are talking about 200 Chibok girls. Is the life of the 200 Chibok girls more than those that have been nowhere to be found, that was killed by Nigeria Security Agency? In terms of security, this government is totally, they don't know where to start with. Because the Boko Haram now is no more killing, but now we are afraid of even to pass where security man is, because you mistakenly shot you dead and nobody will talk about it. That is my contribution.
Thank you very much, Ekene. You've made your point there.
It is important that we get to realize that the Chibok girls represent the face of all those taken hostage. All right. Whenever we say the Chibok girls, it is used figuratively.
But notice that each time the girls are released, when they see names that are not in the school, they say it's not part of Chibok girls. You understand? You say that. So if truly Chibok girls is used as a symbol of every kidnapped girls in Northeast, they will not come and start identifying the girls in the school. So for me, like I keep saying, the terrorists are enjoying all the attentions because of the issue of the name Chibok girls. Like the caller, the other caller from what's his name again? From Gombe. No.
From Maiduguri, Gambo.
There's so many. So I think that for me, we sit here to say that the government is doing a lot in Northeast. It's obvious to the entire world. So if Ekene from Ghana is saying is -0, well, that is in Ghana. It's not in Nigeria.
It's entitled to his own opinion.
So going back to
we're still going to talk more about. Let's quickly go on this short break, and when we come back, we'll talk more about the security situation in the country and also on the war against corruption in Nigeria. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Rise up this morning, smile with the rising sun. 3 little birds pitch by my doorstep, singing sweet songs of melodies pure and true, saying, this is my message to you. Singing, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Singing, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright.
There's no limit to what you can do with data. With Nigeria's widest data network, it's amazing what you can make happen on MTN.
This is my message to you.
Is it crazy or autocracy? Or what type of crazy is that? Except crazy.
News making the headlines.
Black Maria is to carry criminals, trading looters that are in government today.
Sometimes it gets confrontational.
Slap you in the face. They don't put words into my mouth. Whatever it is that will bring our military to disrepute, I said to hell.
On Core Digest,
I want to know why I should be believing them.
Every weekday, we bring all of these together and take them to the court of public opinion.
Everybody has a right in Nigeria,
where you are the judge.
Welcome back from that break. Still looking at Pmb'S scorecard, the issue of security and corruption in the country. I still have my guest in the studio, and let's start looking at the way forward for the issue of security in Nigeria before we move on to talk about corruption.
I think if there's anything this present government should do quickly is to, first of all, the issue of policing, the issue of police. Nigeria needs to really think of the welfare of Nigerian police. I think that we need to now recruit more people, especially graduates. When people are going for youth service and you send them to a classroom to go and teach children, I think more people, graduates, should be sent to go and serve in the police. Then the community policing that is one of their cardinal agenda in security need to be
just a moment, promoted. We have a caller. Daniel is calling us from Kaduna. Good morning, Daniel. Let's have your contribution, please.
Yeah, good morning, my guys. Please, I want to go in line with the last caller that called. That is the person of Ekene from Ghana. Ekene could be in Ghana, just like what the man on red said, but I believe he's a Nigerian and he's speaking to either information in town here in Nigeria. Please, I will tell you, I was called the government -10. Not even -0, but -10. It's really a pity. There's nothing happening on this corruption thing and on this issue of Chibok girls. The Chibok girls have been in a situation whereby Nigerians have been looking at the point of contact. And I tell you one thing, this present government had 2 things in mind which they want to achieve. The issue of the Chibok girls and the issue of corruption. And I tell you, for 4 years, that is going to be a point. They just wanted to use this as a way of disrupting the previous government and make it look as if they've achieved something. I still go by those who were saying that this whole thing is managing, is a sabotage. Nigerian military have tried, but it's so unfortunate. Just like what one of the callers talked about, the way the military are killing people, that people are even scared of the military. I'm not downgrading them. I love them a lot. They do their best. They are more or less of the security we have in Nigeria compared to even the police force and all that. But we need to do more and keep away from politics and work at the security. Then
Well,
the
I must
issue of
say
corruption-
thank you very much, Daniel. You've made your point. 60 seconds. Thank you for calling. Projecting solutions.
Yeah.
At the
So
moment.
I think the issue of community policing should be, since we are afraid and we are not ready for state policing. I think community policing, people should be involved in the issue of police. You see, there's no any part of the world where policing of criminality, policing of the state is done by the police alone. People must be carried along. So I think time has come. This is it's not 18 or 19 years of democracy.
18 years of
18
democracy.
years of democracy, and people are still far away from security, from police. Something is wrong. So that's one area I'm looking at. Then I was talking about the issue of getting more graduates. The rank and files of people that work with people on the street.
Just a moment. Okay. We have Moses. Moses is telling us from Abuja. Good morning, Moses. Let's have
good morning.
Good morning.
Emmanuel Ajoyi, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Okay. In respect, I think that the Nigerian security, they've done fairly okay. But as we know in Nigeria, to be honest to you, if you ask most of Nigerians, you talk to them about the Chibok girls, we all know Chibok girls is a scam. We cannot be, when we were told that these girls were supposed to sit for a physics examination, they were supposed to an examination on physics, and these girls cannot even express themselves in English, even a bad English.
Okay, Moses, do you have facts to back this up, because you just called it a scam?
Of course, even the woman affairs minister spoke recently, about 2-3 days ago, that these girls, the challenge they have with the girls, that they can't express themselves in English. We've seen that. And more so that even the media have not been given access to these girls. So that's a serious challenge. Then the herdsmen themselves too. At those states where I come from, Amuchi, Ewu.
Oh, I'm afraid the line is breaking. Well, you can call us back so that we can have that smooth communication with you. Okay.
I just want to react to what you said.
Okay.
You see, our educational system, as far as I'm concerned, has so fallen. I mean, standards have so fallen to a point where go to most of the schools, not just up north alone. I've been in Lagos for quite some time.
Oh, yeah.
How many of our pupils or students can express themselves? How many in decent English? Have you seen coppers mixing tenses? These are graduates.
Right.
So what he's saying is not is nothing to support the assertion he's making. All right, most of our people can't really express themselves. English language has become one of the most difficult papers to pass today in WAEC. And I know what I'm talking about.
You see the,
just a moment. Tochukwu is joining us from Anambra. Good morning, Tochukwu. Let's have your contributions, please.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
We are fine. Go on with your comments.
All right. I'm enjoying your program. It's quite educating and entertaining also. On the issue of security, are you with me?
We're with you. Go on.
All right. It's quite amazing that up till now, there are those who want to achieve a political aim by saying that this issue of Chibok girl never happened. That the students found themselves, they can't express themselves in English. It's quite it's ridiculous, because I know that in this part of where I am, Anambra, you see students who are in SS3, they can't express themselves in English. You need to wonder how they manage to get to that level. Because nowadays, education now is, if you fail, you promoted to the next class, you keep on moving. You know? So that is it. So, talk less of in the north, where little or no education is happening there.
Okay, so how will you score this administration in the fight against security and corruption?
Yes. So I think the government have done well. Last week I was in Abuja and there was nothing like fear, unlike before. Because look at what happened at St. Teresa's Catholic Church at Madala, where obviously one of our relations could have been involved because we didn't go to that morning mass because we would have been bereaved by now. So, but the issue of bombings and others have we do report to the barest minimum in the FCT and the environment. So I think the federal government has done so much well, and they need to be commended.
Thank you very much.
Regardless of what
You've
people
made
are
your point.
talking.
Chochukwu, thank you very much for your comment. A quick one, Colonel. Any solution to all those insecurity challenges that we're facing?
I would want to advise seriously that, look, the time has come for us to maybe tinker once more with the national security and defense management architecture which we operate, with a view to bringing on board certain elements within the security sector that can actually impact positively to us, add so much value to our security arrangements.
Okay.
And well, what am I looking at? I'm looking in particular at we bringing in the private sector security, we're bringing in vigilantes. If already we are beginning to talk seriously about things like community policing and so on, these are the guys who will be in these communities and assist a great deal. How would they be supplanted in these communities? They would be supplanted by the time the Ministry of Interior and the Immigration Department go to work by fishing out all these foreigners who are serving as securities or megards in our various homes. Without you telling me, I can assure you that where you stay, it's either a Chadian or a Malian or a Niger Republic citizen, that is your security. Ditto for myself, ditto for you. You don't need to tell me that. Now all we need to do is to make sure that the Minister of Interior and Immigration insists that all security men in houses, landlords should ensure that they source their security from private security companies, where these guys already have been well documented, they have guarantors, we know who they are, there is a face to them, and so on.
But the issue of cost effective too, we need to look at that. Let's quickly join Boniface from Kwara. Good morning. Let's have your contributions, please.
Good morning, sir. My name is Boniface from Kwara State.
Good morning. Thank you very much for joining us. Go on with your comment. Can you please reduce the volume of your TV set? Hello, Boniface.
I want to contribute to the security issue people are talking about the main topic of the day.
Well, I'm afraid we can't take this call. You're listening to the feedback, and it's not right. Just go on with your comments so that we can have smooth communication. Okay, you were talking about having this private security, and I did raise the question of cost effective. How cost effective is all this? You would still give me more, but let's quickly touch on this before we run off on major issues. Yesterday we saw the group coming out to say Magu must go. Magu must go in the bid of this anti-corruption war. What do you make of the anti-corruption war of the president?
You see, like everybody know, the president is doing his best, the team is doing their best, but corruption will always fight back. Mr. President will not, being an executive, will not say you are corrupt and at the same time say, jail you. Once you have found out that you have a case against you, they take it to the court. But we know the issue with our judicial system right now as it is, and that's why today I'm still surprised that we don't have a system that is just trying only the corrupt officers. That this court is just earmarked for corrupt officers. So meaning that as long as we have issues with our courts, as long as we still have issues with our judicial system, we're still going to be having delay. As I'm talking to you right now, I have a case in court in respect of with a company that we work for, and for the past 10 years we're seeing courts. For the past 10 years.
So it's going to take it's going to take many years.
And
that's why some people are really advocating that we should have special courts to try corrupt cases.
And the president himself wanted it. So you see, I think Nigerians need to understand here that if we can kill corruption in this country today, I'm telling you, will be good.
The country will move.
The country will move forward.
Is corruption also affecting the issue of security in the country?
Of course.
He's fighting back.
He's fighting back.
Affecting everything.
Man, how on earth will you say Magu should go, Magu should not? Okay, what has Magu done? This president has said, okay, this is the man I want to work with, and this is the man that's going to do this for me. So why don't you support
Just a
him?
moment, let's join our last caller this morning. Kenny calling us from Enugu. Good morning, Kenny. Let's have your
good
contribution,
morning.
please. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm enjoying your program.
Thank you very much.
The problem we normally have in this country is that there are so many suggestions, but people don't look at the things the way they are. Now we are facing recession, and somebody is suggesting that everybody should go in for corporate security, which is very, very expensive. Do you understand? We should look at the local things we can do. Talking about people from Mali and all that, we know very well that all those people are regarded as northerners. We don't know who is in a Nigerian and who is not a Nigerian. All those people, we know them as Hausa Fulani people. The truth is that we should know our population. We should know who is a Nigerian. Up till now, we don't know who is a Nigerian. We make budgets for people we don't know in this country. And every day, every time our budgets will fail, and our people will be complaining. It's high time we face the reality. We should know who is a Nigerian. We should have a number. We should know that we are 10 or 20, not about. So that when we make our budget, it will be very clear. Coming to education, there's no how we will have 200 and something Chibok girls, and none of them could be able to express herself. And somebody is telling us is our education system. Then there's something wrong in northern Nigeria. That is the truth. There's something wrong in northern Nigeria, and we must face it. That means Boko Haram has been institutionalized in northern Nigeria because that's no to education. If people cannot express themselves and they're about taking WAEC.
Thank you very much. You made your point for just 60 seconds. Thank you.
Even to support what Kenya has said in the issue of data, that's what I'm trying to say. You see, Nigeria want to have a national data. It's very important. We have bank today that are taking my data. We have the BVM, we have the FRSC, we have the my driving license.
Quite a whole lot.
So why can't we also have a data?
Need to coordinate.
Those are part of the security we're talking about.
Central.
Okay, let's start joining this together. The issue of security and insecurity in the country, the issue of corruption. Where do we go from here?
First and foremost, I expect that the National Assembly should be able to quickly attend to the bill from the executive calling for specialized courts to try most of these.
Will that stop us?
Yes.
Will that speed up?
That bill, yes. The bill has been in that house since as long as this government is existing. It was one of the first bills that went in. I want to believe it's deliberate that they are sitting on that bill. Okay? With such a bill, we can hasten trials. And this, all those accused, will not have to go through the regular courts. So that the regular courts can have enough time for their regular business.
Yes.
Why the specialized courts handle this. And within a matter of days or weeks, or maybe 1 month, we'll see results coming out on every case. Okay? It's important we address that. 2, it is also important that other arms of government, including the legislative arm and the judiciary, show enough commitment to this fight for corruption. As it is today, there isn't enough commitment and support. There isn't enough. As far as the House is concerned, it's unfortunate, very unfortunate. The House has not only refused to support this fight against corruption, the House is even conducting itself in a condescending manner. Okay? You wish to see the sort of rascality going on there. At times I ask myself, is this the Senate of the Federal
Republic? Are they honorable members?
It's unfortunate. These are issues we have to really address. But anyway, we thank God 2019 is coming. I keep saying it, 80% of the senators will not go back to that house. 80%.
So we should be able to keep to our words there.
Yes.
Okay. Richard.
And I just said, I've said it all. For me,
on security,
my own is just the fact that government need to invest more on security. This community security is something I think we're advocating. We're not calling for private security. We're calling for private partnership with the public security. That's the only way. The private security today, they are on every nook and cranny, but government is not utilizing them. We have most of us who are out there who have seen things. they need to invite us to be part of the administration to see what we can offer. So security is something we can do, we can deal with decisively, but the government needs to really be proactive and stop being reactive.
Okay, that's the watchword for today. Be proactive, not reactive. We shouldn't be doing more reactive measures in the country. Well, we're speaking with a security expert, Richard Amuwa. I must say thank you very much for coming.
Thank you so much
on the show this morning.
Thank you.
A retired Colonel Hassan Labo. So thank you. Nage Sheka.
Thanks so much.
Well, let me just let you know that he's also an Hausa. For those who have been jostling, that have not been having Hausas to talk on the show, he's a retired Colonel. He's from the north and he has given his own intelligence concerning the issue of security and corruption in the country. Well, you heard from one of my guests, Richard Amuwa, saying, let's stop being reactive, let's do more of proactive measures in the country. And this is our way. And the show today being Friday, and tomorrow is going to be a Core Digest Extra. Wow, I must say many thanks to everyone for watching today's show. Keep a date with us tomorrow at exactly 9 a.m. for Core Digest Extra. Until I come your way again, I remain Emmanuel Ajayi. Be the best.